starts with a formula. Unfortunately, not on your formula sheet, so this one's on you. Density, mass divided by volume. All right, the mass divided by the volume. You guys we've used this term density before in the area. Remember doing population density? We challenged each other with the states. How many people or animals can you pack into one spot? Density without the population, same thing, but now it's weight. How much weight can we pack into a certain spot? Right, so we'll be talking about pounds, ounces, grams, kilograms, right? Anything that deals with mass. But there's the formula. And just let me give you guys a little peek into what I'm going to be asking you to do with this formula. Most of the time, I'm going to give you the density. I will give you the density. I am going to ask for what's the mass of the object, and you guys got to find the volume to plug it in. Okay, so that's basically the summary of what I'm going to have you guys do over the next 2 days is I'll give you the density. You have to find the volume using one of the formulas on the formula sheet, and then you find the mass of the object. All right? Anything there on the formula? All right, here's the plan. Today, the homework tonight is to finish the notes. So I am not going to go through every single question with you. I think I have 3 or 4 questions I'll go with you, and then you can work on the rest on your own. Okay, you'll work on a problem. You'll raise your hand. You'll call me over, and I'll check your answer. Okay, instead of going on the classroom, I want to check them. So let's start doing one out of the 3 or 4 problems I have for you today. Let's start with one. We're dealing with the cube here. All right, we are dealing with the cube. 6 centimeter edges, and I tell you how much it weighs. What's the density of this cube? All right, so just the first part. There are 2 parts to this, but the first part is what's the density of this cube? All right, so I use my formula, mass over volume. We can at least substitute in for the mass, 137.8. But you guys are going to have to do a little work for me to find the volume. And this is where all our work has come into play right now, the first 3 days. It is a cube. What formula? Here we go. Now we start quizzing you guys. What formula would you use if it's a cube, aka a square prism? All right, what's the formula I need for prisms here? Prisms here, Zoe? Remember, everyone, I'm going to keep stressing this. That's the area of the base, capital B, right? And look, they're all 6 sides. They're all 6 centimeter sides. So the area of the base is 6 by 6. That's the area of the square. And then the height's got to be 6 as well. All right, what's your volume? Take it one step at a time here. What's your volume? Maddie, what's your volume? 216, good. Please substitute that into the density formula for volume. Take a peek back up at the problem. The rounding directions are nearest 1,000. That's a rare one. I haven't asked you to go that far recently. That's 3 numbers after the decimal. So you should be looking at the 4th one to round or not. So taking a look, rounding it correctly. What is your density here? Density, Hayden? 0.638, good. So there's the answer to the first part. And then the second part is, all right, use the table. Tell me what type of wood we're using. 0.638, 0.638. This is ash wood. All right, all good. Just a plain old find the density. Now we're going to get a little bit more difficult. All right, I am going to go to 2 next. I am going to go to 2. We're going to skip around, though, after this one. All right, so you guys have your container. It's a prism. We give you length, width, and height. On average, it's 0.25 pounds per cubic foot. What's the weight? So, hey, what am I asking for? The mass, right? So I'm looking for M now. I'm looking for M. But here's the thing we got to get used to. The word density does not come up at all. The word density does not come up. So how in the world are we supposed to know, actually, let's see that 0.25? How in the world am I supposed to recognize that that's density if they don't even provide me with that vocabulary term? Here's how. Remember what density is. Mass divided by volume, right? Mass divided by volume. Look what's with that 0.25. Look at the units with the 0.25. Pounds, mass, per cubic foot. If anything's cubic, what is it? That's volume. All right, so you got to recognize with the label pounds, which is mass per cubic foot volume, they're giving me the density. All right, so you got to look at the labels and recognize the 0.25 is density, because I'm probably not going to give you the word with it. All right, so let's go to that density formula. Mass over volume. 0.25 is the density. Substitute it in. We're solving for the mass, and I warned you guys at the beginning of class, this is where you need to be now. You got to find the volume to substitute it in. I'm not going to provide that. All right, I won't provide that for you. It's a prism. What's the volume formula we're using for a prism? Look on the darn formula sheet if you forgot it. Maddie, volume formula for a prism. Darn right. Area of the base times the height. The base is 12 by 8.5. And the height of the prism is 4. When you have the volume, let us know. Maddie, back to you. Take your time. 408. Good work today. Good work. 408. Substitute it in now to the formula for volume. If you don't know what to do from here, put the density over 1, and now you know to cross multiply. Nearest, where do we go? What is the weight in pounds? Let's go nearest pound here. Actually, there's no reason to round, right? That's probably why I didn't put any directions on. No need to round on this one. Right hand?
102.
Good job, 102 pounds. Anything? All right, I'm going to go to 4 now. Let's go to 4. You guys, again, are going to finish the notes as part of the assignment tonight. Here we go, 4. Hemispherical tank. Keep that in mind. We're dealing with the hemisphere here now. Diameter of 10. Water weighs 60. Whoa! Look at that, 62.4. Ready? 62.4 pounds per cubic foot. The word's not there, but we got to recognize I am now giving you, again, the 62.4. That's the density of the water. I got to recognize the labels with it. I'm providing you the density. What's the weight of the water? So again, what is the mass? So I'll start with density formula again. Substitute in 62.4 for the density. What's the mass of this tank? Now you got to find the volume again. All right, hemisphere formula. Hemisphere. You got the sphere. Do something with it. You have the sphere in front of you on the formula sheet. Do something with it. What's the hemisphere formula I'm going to use? Shoom. Hemisphere T.
1/2.
Good job.
4/3. 5 cube.
Thank you. Make sure it's cubed, not squared. And we got the 1/2 because it's a hemisphere. All right, just make sure we're locked in here and focused. What's my radius in this problem, Keating?
5.
5, yep. 10's the diameter, 5 is the radius. Remember, finding the volume is not your final answer, so you know the deal. Don't round it. $261.799. Substitute that in and solve for your mass. And you can see this is a tank, literally. Nearest pound on this one, nearest pound. Big tank. Jalen, what do you have nearest pound? Yes, yes. Questions before we do one more together, and then you're on your own. Or if you want to work with other people, that's fine. Last one, we're going to go 6. Let's go 6. I just wanted to get to another type of polyhedron we haven't talked about today. How much does this block weigh? All right, couple things. It says each side of the base measures 4.5 centimeters. Yeah. It's a square base. And the height is 10. Remember, height, there's 2 heights in a pyramid, slant height and this height, which is the Mission Impossible height, apex down, 10 centimeters. And lucky for us, I come out and just tell you the density. All right, I don't try to hide it by the units. I'm telling you it's 0.676. How much does this bad boy weigh? Go ahead, substitute 0.676 in for the density, mass, and again, we're on the hook for the volume. As you guys are starting to see, that's what these types of problems are. All right, you guys got to find the volume to substitute it into the density. We got a pyramid here, kids. Pyramid formula we're going to use for a pyramid volume. Pyramid's volume, right hand, pyramid's volume.
1/2 base times height.
Good. Make sure we put the 1/3 there because it's a pyramid. Area of the base times the height. All right, talk to me. How do you find the area of this square base to substitute in for capital B? How do you find it, Mia? How do I find the area of this base? Yep, 4.5. And since it's a square, also 4.5 times the height, 10. When you have the volume, let us know so we can substitute it in there. Jayla, when you have the volume. Good job. Great. Substitute it in. And what are the nearest 1/10 of a gram here? Nearest 1/10 of a gram. Tenth of a gram. Maddie, back to you to finish this. Great work. Yep. Any questions so far? I need you to master this before we come to class tomorrow. And here's why. Here's why. Why do we do a day 2 tomorrow? Here's why. Tomorrow, things are going to get really nuts because see how the density was in centimeters? Tomorrow, it'll be in centimeters, but this will be in inches. So we need to convert back to centimeters before we find the volume. and I'm going to show you how to use your NumWorks calculator converts for you. All right, so you don't have to worry about knowing, oh, how many inches in a foot, how many grams in a kilogram. Your calculator is going to do it all for you, but we need this done for mastered first. So here's how it's going to go. You guys are going to finish the notes. You do a problem, you call me over, and I'll check it. I don't want you to use Google Classroom. I've already learned my lesson on that. I had last week my geometry students in another class just started copying down the answers from the answer key, and that does you no good. So please, no Chromebooks to open up the Google Classroom. You should just be calling me over, and I'll check your work. Okay, if you want to work with other people, fine. I'm all right with that. If you guys want to work together, no problem. But once you're done with the problem, call me over, and I'll look at the answer, and I'll tell you if it's right or wrong instead of going to the answer key. All right? So let's get, and I will let you know number 9 is a beast. Number 9 is give me a taste of what we're getting into tomorrow. Okay, so take your time on number 9 or ask me any questions. Okay. All right, here we go. Call me